Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Wednesday, Perfect Strangers Podcast, episode 2. I'm your co host Anthony, and with me,
Is Paul Cullinan, the host of this here podcast. Today, I want to bring to attention something that I learned in psychology class, which is my new major, because it's vaguely interesting. And have you ever heard of top-down versus bottom-up processing?
oh yes, actually, yes, this is good. Explain this for those who
Okay.
don't know.
So top down to process from the top down is essentially using your knowledge and schema, which is essentially just stereotyping, but remove the hatred of stereotyping and like look at it as you look at a cup and you know it's a cup because it looks like a cup
Right.
and you don't have to touch it or like you know it's a cup by you don't even have to touch it, you know? So that's top down. Bottom up is senses to brain. So you have to feel it, you don't know what it is, and then you identify it by touching it. And then you create a bucket in your brain. Let's just use bucket as an example to put everything that feels looks like a cup. So now you have a cup bucket because you touched it, you identified it. And I was thinking about this on my drive to class the other day, how when you're a baby, you basically have to process everything bottom up because you have no predisposed knowledge of what anything is. Like as you age, of course, you do more top down because you have identifiers for everything you've come in contact with. But like if I saw something that I've never seen before, like if an alien dropped out of the sky, I would have no idea.
Of course.
It would rock my world. So I was thinking when you're a baby, how incredibly confusing it has to be to exist. You know?
Yeah, definitely. Being young and having to learn what your surroundings around you, it is crazy.
Like it's really hard to even start to comprehend starting from scratch. Even though every human on earth has done that. Starting with nothing and then being who you are today.
But imagine the people who get into accidents and then they wake up and they have to relearn everything almost as if they were babies. Imagine how scary that must be.
That's got to be, I mean, yeah, that's,
Like, do you think they're also learning like a baby as well? Or do you think that.
yeah, that's why it's so hard to get back to being a normal person after an accident. Like if you have to learn how to walk again, you're, as a baby, you have so much room in your brain. So learning how to walk just kind of happens naturally because you never knew how before. And you have so much room in your brain for the necessities of what it means to walk.
Mm-hmm.
But when you're an adult and you have to relearn how to walk, that's a whole nother ballgame.
Yeah, that must be crazy. The human mind is so fascinating.
Yeah, we're essentially controlled by a meatball in our skulls, and yeah, it's it's just incredibly complex to think that this all happened by chance, you know. And I mean, religion is cool and all, but I'm not one for it. But I don't look down on anyone that believes in it. I don't want to sound condescending when I say this, but I think it's true that religion exists because people need it. Not a lot of, like, my grandparents, for example, probably wouldn't have done as much as they did without the feeling that there was a purpose. They were put here for a reason. There's something after this. So if you have something like that to lean on, you're going to want to be a good person to get to heaven, right? But on the other side of that, can't you just teach your kids good morals and how to be a good person and not have to...
Absolutely. I mean, you can do that. Is that if that's what you choose?
Like, it just goes along with what we said.
But religion is also, someone's opinion. More than that, I guess it's a belief, as much as you don't believe in religion, excuse me, a lot of people do.
Yeah,
It's like a lifestyle choice.
exactly. Like it's what people live by. People would die for the religion, and that causes problems for me because like, is a belief system really worth dying for when in reality every belief system that there is pretty much the same?
I don't know. I cannot answer that question.
I mean, there hasn't been any holy wars lately, but the fact that people believe in different things certainly lends itself to why racism is a thing. Not racism, but like people of different colors usually have a different religion. Not usually, but when someone is of a different religion, they're usually not what if you are a different religion, they're usually different than you.
Well,
I'll put it that way.
yeah, I guess you can classify religion by culture. Certain cultures rep certain religions harder than other cultures. I can see what you're saying by that. But it's all a choice at the end of the day. I
Is it a choice though?
well, religion?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you choose to believe, you find faith, you have your reasons why you believe, and you stick to those.
I'm just saying that most people that I know are the religion that they are because their parents raised them that way. So in that sense, they didn't have a choice.
Ooh. But I feel like it's not like that for everyone.
Oh no, not for everybody. I mean, I'm not gonna say that I renounced my religion, but from a very early age, I was like, this isn't for me. Like I went to
Same
religious
same.
ed every Wednesday night for years until I was like, I was just a shit starter there. I would just cause problems.
Catholic?
I don't even know what my family is, to be completely honest. It's just
Yeah,
it's been so long since I've even tried.
the whole church aspect, that really wasn't for me.
I made my communion. Let's do some research.
I have
Because
faith,
my dad said
but
I'm uncultured. He didn't say that, but he alluded to that.
I'm open-minded as well.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Like I'm not going to say that God doesn't exist because there's no way I know. But
Yeah,
if someone
yeah.
comes up to me telling me that they know for a fact that God exists, I'm going to tell them that they're wrong.
Yeah, it's their opinion, as I was saying earlier.
I have no problem admitting that I don't know.
Yeah,
I
nobody
don't,
knows.
Yeah. There's no way to know.
Yeah.
I also have a theory for why people believe in the afterlife.
What? Why?
Because when you die, your brain releases serotonin.
DMT.
It's the same chemical that's in DMT,
Yeah.
and it's highly hallucinogenic. And it essentially, when you're in this state, your perception of time doesn't work like it does in real life when you're alive.
Mm-hmm.
So a minute could pass; it could feel like a day. It could feel like a second. It's just totally warped. So say you die in a hospital, and the doctors are in the process of shocking you back to life with the paddles. And in that time, in that dream state, you know that you were dying before you die. You know? Like you're expecting it.
Yeah.
So you're like, man, if you're religious, you're like, good gosh, am I going to go to heaven? I can't wait to see God for that, and this is what my life led up to. So when they die, their brain is primed to hallucinate that.
Yeah.
So you have your people that die and then get revived, and they're like, holy shit, heaven's real. I saw it. I was right. But realistically, what are the chances that your religion is the correct one? It's just not feasible.
Well, once again, that is a tough question.
This is not where I saw this this
And-
podcast going so early on, but I mean, you just got my brain going.
And like I said, I think it all comes down to your faith and your beliefs. And everybody is trying to find heaven within themselves. So your concept of heaven is obviously different. We're all unique. Who knows what is beyond our world? There's no way to tell for sure if it's chemicals in the brain or some kind of spiritual afterlife shit going on. No way to tell.
Until we get there.
Yeah, truly. Some people even say there's like black magic and that stuff going on here. Who knows?
That's
Witchcraft.
Yeah, dude. It's just.
What if that stuff was still going on? Like,
I don't know if I believe in magic, but I really believe in ghosts. So I don't know what that says about me. Because I've had some freaky experiences. But
yeah, ghost. Yeah,
ghost spirits kind of go hand in hand with religion. So I don't know where I stand on that. Because if I believe in ghosts, then I must believe in the afterlife. So there goes my whole argument. But fudge that. I'm trying not to curse, if you can't tell.
Yeah, I see what you're saying about that. Really?
Have you had any ghost experiences?
No, not any noteworthy ones.
Nothing freaky?
Yeah, nothing really crazy. How about you?
I've had, I'm not going to say a handful, but a couple. And I don't know if it's just my brain being predisposed to thinking that these things will happen. Because, I mean, I think I saw a scary movie when I was too young, and it, like,
That'll do it. That'll do it.
it shook me.
That'll do it.
So whenever, I was afraid of the dark for a really long time. And I have an anxious brain, too. So those two things combined, like even still now, if the lights are out and I'm at the apartment by myself, I have no problem admitting that I turn the lights on because I'm too scared to be in the dark. Because, you know, you never know what could be in the dark. But at the same time, yeah, my ghost experiences, quote unquote, ghost experiences. I was sitting at my house, in my parents' house, in the basement where my room was, on the couch with a friend, and we were watching a movie. And there was a glass on top of my TV. This is before I had a flat screen, so it was like a big cube TV. And it was on the far left side, and we were looking at the TV.
Mm-hmm.
And we were watching a scary movie, turns out.
Mm-hmm.
And right around the time, like, there was this climax, the cup slid from the far left side of the top of the TV all the way to the right, stopped. And me and my friend were like, holy shit, did you see that? And we looked at each other, and then the cup fell off the TV and hit the ground, and we got up and bolted upstairs.
Was there anything in the cup?
No, it was empty.
Was the window open? You don't think?
I live in a basement.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, that's definitely some voodoo stuff.
I could be remembering it wrong. I mean, I've told the story dozens of times. But I could probably call her right now and ask and get a secondhand opinion, but...
That's crazy. You know what? I believe in ghosts. I do. I believe they're out there. I believe there are ones that are haunting people, ones that have been wronged. And I
Yeah.
believe there are ones that are just sort of protectors, maybe guardian angels, looking out for other people. And maybe there are some that just never quite made it to where they wanted to go.
I don't know, man. I'm yeah. I'm in this in between of thought, because part of me really wants to.
So you are somewhat religious.
I don't know. That's the thing. Because, like, I really want to find a scientific, like, a theory as to how this happened.
I have some faith. You know, I don't really go to church. I believe in God, though.
Do you?
Yeah.
I respect that.
Yeah. I definitely believe in God, in Jesus.
Jesus. Jesus was black, there's no doubt. He had to be.
Probably was black or Middle Eastern, right?
Something like he was brown.
He was definitely not white.
That's
can agree
that's
on
another
that.
thing I don't like about religion. They just paint everything. You know what? That's not
Religion
too
is
that's
a
not too much of a
powerful
problem.
force It's a powerful force, religion.
I actually wrote my final paper on the corruption
And
of church.
yeah, I was about to say, with that much power, there must be some form of corruption within.
Dude, there's so many child
Naturally.
molesters in power in the religious hierarchy.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
Then
But like that's what like any like powerful organization. Look at Hollywood.
oh yeah, but I
What's
mean,
going on there? Whew, that's a mess.
don't get me started.
Yeah, that's bad.
Boy, oh boy. What else was I gonna say? I feel like I was gonna say something. Oh,
Yeah.
my other ghost experience. This one's not really too exciting. It could have easily just been my eyes playing tricks on me. But I was staying over at our friend Matt's house when we were pretty young, maybe 13, 14. And our friend Nathan was there, and our friend David was there. And we're all laying down in his room, getting ready to go to bed. And I look out the window, and I was like, holy crap, there is a woman standing by your pool. And they were like, bullshit. So they all looked, and from what I recall, they saw it too. Just your classic horror movie woman with like a white gown and like a shawl blowing in the wind in his pitch black backyard. And we looked away, and she was gone. So maybe that was just a hive mind, having them seeing what I thought I saw, just to have it be that kind of moment, or it was something
Do
that
you think it was an actual woman that like actually spying on you?
I don't know. It looked too spooky.
Either way, it's spooky. Either way, it's scary. Yeah, that's crazy, man. I hear other people that have had ghost experiences, various places like train tracks, crazy stuff like that. I don't know. I've never had that happen to me, but if I did, I would probably freak out.
Yeah, there's
That's some
this
supernatural vibes.
there's
You
this
can't
theory.
fight that.
There's this theory where this kind of stuff doesn't happen to you unless you open yourself up to believing in it.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're just like a non-believer in ghosts, you're not going to have an experience. And even if you do, you're just going to immediately find a reasonable or semi-reasonable explanation as to how this happened. But from that one experience with the cup sliding across the TV, that's the one that I can't chalk up to just being some freak incident. Let's slide into the next topic, shall we? Let's say something about our future plans for what we're gonna do here. Anthony, are you there?
Oh yes. Oh yes.
We got this thing going on called Soto Studios, where Anthony is a big proponent. Proponent? What does that even mean? He's really good at making beats.
Yes.
He's a musician of sorts.
I make some music. Soto Studios is another channel where you can check out some of the music that I do. Paul is my right hand man for that as well. So, yeah, we'll leave the link down below for you guys. You can check it out.
Certainly, it's just a few beats on the channel right now, but in the future we're working on a project together. We're building a studio. It's we got a lot of things going on. We got the podcast just recently started, but hopefully this is the beginning of something really incredible.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to the future. Speaking of the future, where's one place that you want to take vacation that you've really never been to before?
I want to go to Japan, for sure.
Vacation in Japan. That's crazy. What would you do in Japan while you're on vacation?
Just I really want to see the architecture, as weird as that sounds. I really like how that stuff looks, and like they have these really huge cities and like all the neon lights and stuff. I mean, I also haven't really spent a lot of time in New York City. I like to go to New York City, even though we live 2 hours away, and I was born like 30 minutes away from New York City. I'd like to visit there sometime soon. But yeah, Japan. Also, like the wildlife, the forests. There's some really cool hikes I want to do. I'm never gonna set foot in India. Too hot. I don't know. I couldn't tell you many reasons why I don't want to go to India, but that's
Just not for you.
just not for me.
Okay. Yeah.
I really want to go to Australia. I actually had plans not too long ago to live in Australia, but yeah, I really like Australia. Weather's super nice. They have kangaroos. They have that one opera house.
That's pretty cool.
What about you?
Yeah, I wanted to go to Japan as well. Japan's a big thing for me. I really want to see their culture, learn more about it, and see the designs there. Like you said, see the structures of the buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I would really appreciate that. I want to explore more of Europe.
Yeah, also Europe. I mean, I'm mostly European. Like you get Scotland, Ireland,
Okay.
Switzerland, Sweden, stuff like that. I'm a mutt. Germany. I'd love to go to Germany.
Yeah. I guess I'd go visit Germany.
You still hung up on the whole World War II thing?
Oh no. No. It's not it's nothing like that. It's just like it's not really a top place for me that I
That makes
wanna
sense.
visit.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to pick out of all of Europe, I'd definitely go to Ireland first.
Yeah.
Like I'm a big fan of. They have castles. You know, good old rolling hills, really nice there. What else do they have in Ireland? Got some good old fashioned pubs. I'm a big fan of cobblestone walkways. As weird as that sounds, I think those are really cool. And Ireland has a lot of those. I think we kind of talked ourselves into a corner. Here's an applause. Oh, there we go. Applause for us for doing such a great job so far. Very humble people. This is the secret topic that I wanted to. I don't know if you've already heard of this, but Nintendo recently put out a patent for their next Classic system, like the NES Classic or the SNES Classic, but they're skipping the N64 and the GameCube, and it's going to be the Wii Classic. What do you think about that?
That's very interesting. I wonder why they would do something like that.
I could imagine that they would implement the Virtual Console on the Wii Classic.
So maybe that's why.
Yeah, and there's going to be GameCube controller support.
On the Wii Classic?
Yeah, and the Wii Classic is set to be a hub for the Switch, so you could use GameCube controllers on the Switch. You can connect them. And also, it's going to be the stand-in for a sensor bar, so you could play Wii games on the Switch.
Wow, that is insane.
It's when they do.
Nintendo does it again.
Yeah,
I don't know
they're
how
going to do
these
stuff
guys
like.
keep doing it.
You got some Mario Party, Metroid, New Super Mario Bros., Pikmin 1 and 2, Punch-Out, both Super Mario Galaxies, Super Paper Mario, Smash Bros. Brawl. You get the picture. Twilight Princess, Skyward Sword. The good stuff. Hopefully.
Do you think if Nintendo could go back in time and redo Brawl, that they would do it differently?
No,
No?
I don't think so.
Me
I have no
neither.
problems with Brawl.
Yeah, I have no problems with Brawl. I was going to say me neither, but I just feel like I actually like Brawl, but a lot of people
People hate it.
don't
But
like it compared to Smash 4. Yeah, I was going to say.
I don't know if we covered this in the last podcast, but I didn't play a lot of Melee. Like
Yeah,
barely
yeah,
at
yeah.
all.
I remember you saying that.
And
That's a shame that you missed out on that though. Melee is very good. It's a
Me-
very great
Melee's
Smash.
good, but I mean, I was too young. I think it came out in 2001, and well, I was 4. And I mean, maybe it's because I'm the oldest child, so I didn't have like an older brother that would have that game. I mean, like I said, I played Super
You were
Mario
like
64.
playing Animal Crossing and stuff, right?
Yeah, I was. I played
Yeah.
Animal Crossing. I played a lot of Super Sonic Adventure 2 Battle.
What's one thing you miss the most about being a kid?
Playing video games.
Definitely video games.
I mean, also there's also
I
like
play them now, but I don't get the same sensation.
yeah, I used to. I've spent summers of my life as when I was a child with my cousin in my basement and friends playing or watching him play. Like we would go to Blockbuster. We used to have a Blockbuster right in town. That was long gone now, but we'd go there like once a week with my mom. We'd pick out a new game, play through it.
The simple era. We lived in an era where video games were more about the gameplay rather than the graphics.
Yeah, I'm a big Nintendo head.
Nintendo has always provided solid gameplay.
I had a stint with Xbox 360. I played some World at War, some Modern Warfare, some Halo.
But I gotta say, if I could choose an era to grow up in as a kid for video games, it would probably be this era.
I don't know. I think I might
regardless of-
disagree.
I mean, like, they have the ability to play the games that we have played, and they have the ability to play these new games on PS4 and Xbox One, in my opinion.
Yeah,
They're still gonna love Mario and Sonic.
I think part of the appeal of Mario is growing up with them, though. And I think the time to grow up with them has passed.
Yeah, you know what? I can see that. But no, 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 no. They're still gonna play the original ones.
I don't know, dude.
Maybe not like the original ones, but
I mean,
I'm talking
I'd
about,
rather play
like-
the original Mario than Super Mario 64 because that game has not aged
well,
well
like,
at all.
I have a 7-year-old brother and he plays Mario. Well, like, I'm sure he hasn't played like the original Marios, but he's played New Super Mario World, New Super Mario World 2. It's still the same concept. So essentially he is growing up with Mario, just not the Mario that we grew up with.
I guess. Yeah.
It's a different time.
But like my girlfriend wasn't allowed to play video games when she was growing up. So she played Super Mario and the Lost Coins on the Game Boy, and that was the only Mario game she played. Or like maybe she played a couple other ones, but none of the like super hits like I guess what I'm talking about is like the GameCube era of Mario, like Toadstool Tour with Super Mario Golf, and tennis. You got your Super Mario Sunshine, Luigi's Mansion, stuff like that. And those are the games that I recommend to people that if you haven't played them.
Yeah. The classics.
And I mean, maybe it's just my nostalgia goggles, but
No,
And-
they're
and-
definitely games worth playing.
in my opinion, if there was a time to
Definitely
grow up
games
with video games, it was the GameCube era. But everyone's
I don't entitled know.
to their own opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all good games. The lack of GameCube emulators and GameCube games being re-released probably
It's so sad.
fuels that.
It's so
Fuels
sad.
that. Yeah,
I hate it. I just want.
fuels your statements.
Did you play the second Luigi's Mansion that came out? Oh wait, you don't have a 3DS.
No, I do not.
It was a puzzle game.
So it wasn't good.
It was okay, but like I can't tell if that's just me really wanting another Luigi's Mansion and forcing myself to like it, because it wasn't Luigi's Mansion. It was let's walk around this house and solve a puzzle with Luigi, and there's some ghosts. Because Luigi's Mansion 1 is an absolute masterpiece. It is so, so good.
It's a hard game to top.
It was the first game that came out. It was a launch title for the GameCube,
Yeah,
and I don't think they'd made a better game.
it's a hard game to top. Really, Luigi's Mansion is good. But the new Super Mario Odyssey is good as well.
That's a great game.
It's really a great game. It's a game that's I mean, like Mario is. You don't need to read a review about a Mario game before you decide whether to buy it or not.
Yeah.
You know what you're paying for. You get what you're paying for.
There was some speculation with that Mario Rabbids game, but I've heard it's really good.
It's probably just as good as all the other Mario titles they put out. Um, yeah, Nintendo spends a lot of money making sure Mario stays afloat.
Yeah. Has there been a Mario game that flopped?
I'm sure there have been a few. None that I can name off the top of my head. But
There was like those computer games that came out,
yeah,
like Hotel Mario, or Mario's Missing is a classic.
yep. Mario's missing.
It sounds like there's a goblin tapping the inside of my ear. You ever get that? You ever feel like
No.
that?
Do you think Mario only eats mushrooms? If you could only eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
It's a tough question.
That's a tough question. It's a hard one.
I was on this kick. I wanted to tweet this, but I never did.
Mm-hmm.
That's at Cullinan2 on Twitter. CULLENEN2 on Twitter. I was really, really satisfied with this sandwich that I was eating, and I was thinking to myself, man, whoever invented the sandwich was a genius. Because, like, you're not going to just shovel meat and vegetables into your mouth with your hands. Bread is like an edible glove for eating a sandwich, if you think about
That's
it.
an interesting way to put it.
It's like you have an oven mitt on, and you're holding meat and vegetables and dressing, but you eat that oven mitt because it's bread.
So you would choose a sandwich.
Yeah.
Me too.
Really?
Yeah, for the exact same reason, because you're getting a variety. You know, you're getting the bread, you're getting the ham. If you get 2 meats, you're getting the turkey and the 2 cheeses. Yeah, like I could probably do that for the rest of my life.
It won't be the healthiest lifestyle, but I mean,
No.
any food over, if you have it every day for like a week, you're going to get so sick of it, regardless of what you pick.
Human nature. So, what's our next topic?
How about school? What are your thoughts? How was your early school experience? Let's say kindergarten through 6th grade.
Pretty standard stuff. I mean, I pretty much kept to myself, did my work. I told a lot of jokes when I was younger.
Funny guy.
Yeah. Class clown. Teachers hated it. Got in trouble with the teachers a lot. Got the belt a lot from my mom.
Uh-oh.
You know? Yeah. You know.
I only got hit once.
Well, you know. It happens.
I bit my cousin, and I got a spanking for it. This happened last week.
Wow.
No, I was like 2, maybe 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, my pre-K through 6th grade experience was,
Pretty standard, right?
yeah, I was an overachiever, but I didn't have to try. I was one of those kids where I was just naturally gifted at the easy stuff, and once high school hit, even with high school, I just kind of breezed through high school. Once college hit, I was like, man, I can't just not try anymore. I have to try.
Well, I liked video games a lot more when I was growing up, but my mom never bought me video games. So, yeah, I just play my older brothers, like I said in the previous podcast.
Yeah.
Once I got old enough, I bought myself some video games.
How'd you get back on video games?
I just bought my own.
No, wait, like how topic wise.
Oh, well, I was going to say that because I was going to say I often rather play video games
Oh,
than
yeah.
do my schoolwork.
Yeah.
I was going to say, yeah.
In 6th grade,
So it wasn't like go ahead.
one memory that sticks out to me in 6th grade, my teacher went out of her way to get a new. We didn't have desks in 6th grade. We had tables, which was pretty cool. It was like, man, we're grown-ups now. We have tables instead of desks, and then straight back to desks in high school. But we had all these nice tables, and then she ordered a new one, and it looked like a gear, like your standard cog or gear. And you would sit in the semicircles of a gear. You know, if a gear was a table, you would sit scooted in at the semicircle part in between the bumps. And she got this table for the top 6 students in the class. And I did not think it was a good idea, but I was one of those students. And it immediately caused this rift in the student body of my 6th grade class, because there was just these 6 people sitting in the middle of the room at this brand new table that was reserved for the best students in the class, and it immediately made us targets.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that.
Yeah.
You gotta go ahead and single it out.
It was a bad idea, but I mean, I was happy to be part of that table.
Of course.
Like, I was the kid that everyone would come to for help with their math homework, and, those 100 math question multiplication sheets.
So you consider yourself good at math?
No, absolutely not. I'm so bad at math. I switched my major because I'm bad at math.
I see.
And I don't know if that's just my inability to focus and I don't want to try, or if it's just natural, because it sure as hell feels like I just can't wrap my head around anything past pre-calc.
Well, a lot of people are geared differently. I know
Yeah,
people
that's-
that have from the jump been good at math, and there are people who are just barely getting by, but they're, phenomenal writers, or, they could tell you all the whole history of the 1800s. So everybody's different. Definitely.
Everyone's really different. And I mean, I have this one friend in college who I met him in public speaking, which was a trip for me because I didn't do a single homework assignment until the last day. And he's the smartest person I've ever met in my life. He is like bizarrely gifted, and he's really well spoken, and he knows so much. And I just sit there and nod my head when he talks. I want to have him on the podcast soon. He said he's down. He lives New Paltz, I believe. Not too far away. Don't disclose the location. They'll send killers after us. We live in Maine.
Android or iPhone?
That's left field.
It is.
Android just released a new operating system, and I have an iPhone right now. But I'm really considering switching back to Android.
Why? What was it specifically about their new operating system
It's just
that swayed you?
I imagine Apple's coming out with something soon to compete, because that's what Apple does. They can't be too far behind. But like battery life, processing power, camera doesn't matter much to me. A good Android will hold its own against an iPhone. Granted, there are shitty, cheap Androids, but a good one, like a Galaxy, or whatever the newest one is, will hold its own. And the customizability for someone that's semi-tech savvy will be able to utilize an Android to its fullest extent and do things that iPhones can't.
Yeah.
iPhone is universal. Android is
I've always
kind of a
been an
select
Android.
audience.
I've always been an Android fan. Number one reason why I like my phone to feel personalized. I like to I like having options.
Yeah, that's a
And
good
that's
point. Like whenever
something Android's always offered me.
before this phone, I think I have the 7S.
I'm tech savvy, and not that I recommend it to other people, but I used to break my phones and
Yeah, I was right about to say that. Before I got this phone, my last iPhone, but every Apple device, iPod Touch, iPhone, I would jailbreak almost immediately because I was yearning for some kind of customizability. when you could just get that standard with an Android. It's like it's just common sense at that point. I don't know why I went back to iPhone. I don't really regret it. It's a phone. I don't really need it to do much. But like, yeah, I totally agree.
Yeah. I like that about Android. It's like having a computer in your pocket. Really, they stepped their game up.
Yeah. It's
Big time. Big time.
the amount of power that the standard human being has from the second they touch an iPhone is something that was never planned for to ever happen in history. Go back 50 years. Go back, no, maybe 50 years they had some idea of what was going to happen. You think? You think in 1960 they had any idea what was going to go down in 2018? Tech-wise?
No, absolutely not. We had no idea what was going to go down in 2000.
Yeah. I mean, you could kind of see the direction of where things are going.
Yeah.
In 2000, hold on.
But 7 years later is when we got our first touchscreen phone. We weren't expecting that.
Is that real? 2007?
Is when the first iPhone, multi-touch phone, yeah.
2012 is when the iPod Touch came out. That can't be real.
2007 is when the first iPhone came out, iPhone 3G.
Damn, dude. Time's going by too fast.
Yeah, it's what I mean. It wasn't even a decade before we got our first multi-touch phone. We had no idea that was coming. And now we got this, got this stuff going on. Google's keynote presentation with that crazy AI.
Yeah, we went over that last time. We're going to see some crazy stuff happen within the next 5 to 10 years. For sure. If the world doesn't come to a horrific nuclear end,
Yeah.
we're going to see some wild things happen technology-wise.
We're already starting to see it. The Tesla's amazing.
Yeah, we already have. I saw a concept for a self-driving truck with a tablet, and the tablet was like it showed you your speed and everything. It was like your dashboard, right? Is that what that's called? Where your speed and everything else is monitored.
Yeah.
Except you hit this button and it's auto drive or auto steer, and you could still control your speed with a brake and gas pedal. And then you hit it again, and it's auto gas and auto brake. And then you could recline, like you can move your seat back like half a foot, and then it spins, so that you're now sitting adjacently, perpendicularly to the steering wheel. And then you can recline, lay down, and then the tablet comes off, and you could use it like you would use an iPad? An iPad.
Yeah.
For those, well, that we have no video yet, but we will soon. I made a air rectangle with my hands.
Technology is moving really fast. 3D printing's big, and I heard they're doing metal 3D printing now.
Yeah, I saw a thing that really changed my view on 3D printing. I wasn't really huge into it because I never really saw the advantage. Like, what are you going to print out that's 6 inches by 5 inches that's going to be of any use other than some small little knickknacks that you make for fun? But there's this huge printer that prints in concrete, and they build houses, low income housing with this printer. It takes it a day to build a full house, and then you just got to smack a roof on it and it's livable.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like that's real world practical 3D printing. And also they're printing meat.
I don't know if I believe in that. I don't know if I believe in that.
Dude, that could end world hunger.
Okay, I believe in ending world hunger, but I don't believe in eating artificially printed food.
But like, what if it's okay? What
I
if
don't know.
What if it's
We're gonna
proven?
have to read more into it.
Does your meat have to come from an animal?
See more into it.
Ooh,
Yes.
It's raining outside.
Yeah, it's getting rainy.
I wonder if it picks it up through the mic. Dogs are barking. The storms are coming, boys.
Do you need your meat to come from an animal? I personally, I do.
I'd have to do a lot more research about this printed meat stuff. I know they're printing organs, that's for sure. Printing food came. It's bizarre how 3D printing happened. It was like printing plastic, cool. Printing cement, I just saw that. Now you're printing food. Now you're printing something edible, and then you're printing organs, working organs. That's crazy.
Yeah, now that's really crazy.
It.
I read a news story, something about a person who had their ear grown
Oh
on
yeah,
their
I just
arm.
saw that.
Yeah,
It was a
and then
meme for a little bit. It was like,
It's real though, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
they do that all the time. Like when people cut their hands off, and they need to reconstruct like tendons and veins in the wrist,
Uh-huh.
they connect the hand to the ankle, so it gets blood flow
That's
and doesn't
crazy.
die. So I don't know what it entails to grow an ear, but I guess they know how. I mean, isn't that what stem cells is used for? Because stem cells are cells that can be coded to do exactly what you want to do. They're universal, essentially, from what I understand. What was I gonna say? I thought it was crazy how, like, what kind of progression is that for 3D printing to go from plastic to printing actual organs? Do they work yet?
That I'm not sure of. I do know it's crazy, and if it works, then I'm all for it.
Yeah. Would you sell your kidney on the black market if you could?
No,
Why? Let me look up the asking price
I
for a
mean,
kidney.
like, yeah, how much is it worth first
It's a
off?
couple grand,
And no, no.
but you only
If I
need
can
one.
avoid it, then no. It's too much trouble for me.
What about a
It's too much.
testicle?
Definitely not.
Why?
Definitely not.
I think it's like
like
$10,000.
my testicles the way they are.
Dude, but
I
you
don't
only
need
need
to-
one.
Yeah, but I'm not giving away my testicle for money.
Dude, your standards are
need-
too high.
I don't need that much money. $10,000
I think
for
I
one
would sell
testicle?
a testicle.
for 10,000. You would
Oh,
sell
yeah.
a testicle. Sell a testicle. I wouldn't sell.
If I have a surplus and there's a demand and they're looking for
Good guy,
they're
Paul,
offering
folks.
10 grand for something that I have two of that I only need one of, maybe I'll haggle for 15 grand. Depends on how
see.
bad they need this one testicle.
I see.
A kidney
He's
fetches
willing-
around $20,000. That's a lot of dough.
It's a lot of dough. One kidney, one testicle. You're on your way.
That's crazy.
You're on your way. No, I don't.
I'm in. Dude, sign me up. I'll go to China. Oh, I'd get so sick if I went to China to get a kidney removed.
Possibly.
There's no way. That's wild, though. That's a lot of money. This is a Business Insider article, 9 body parts you could sell for profit. Plasma. I need my plasma. Can't get rid of that. You can sell your placenta for $8. I don't have one of those. I could find $8. 1,000. Oh, whoa. You could
You know,
s-
I really just I have to say,
Yeah.
on all that since we're on all this future talk, I don't know how much I trust a robot to do the work a doctor would do in a hospital. I
That's-
understand that these robots may have a higher success rate, but I don't know. It's just there's something about technology and how it's not quite there yet that I'm not sure I would trust a robot to make the decision
Yeah, it's an
over
interest.
a human.
Yeah, it's an interesting dynamic because with humans, there's only so much that they could do. You have to factor in human error, and I mean it's a human. They could sneeze and cut the wrong. You could kill someone with a sneeze if you're a surgeon. But a robot is dependable in a sense where it's going to do what you code it to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think if the proper tests are done and the proper time is taken to perfect, quote unquote, perfect this machine, I think it's almost a better choice than human surgeons.
So you're willing to give it a chance if it's for the greater good.
Oh, yeah. Well, what do you mean by greater good?
Let's say there's
More accessible healthcare?
87% success chance with a human surgeon, 90% success chance with a robot.
Why wouldn't I do
Robot's
the robot?
brand new and hardly used.
How many times has this robot done this operation?
3,
How many times has the doctor done it?
5.
I'm gonna go with the robot.
Okay.
It has a better. It has more of a success chance.
Okay.
It's an obvious choice, in my opinion. But it's very reasonable to distrust a robot, for they can be evil if they become sentient.
Well, I don't know. I just feel like with technology, there's a lot of unexpected occurrences when it could come to the surgery. And
My main issue would be hackers.
like, I don't mind the robot if the human's controlling it, but the robot by itself is just.
But then still you have human error.
That's true. No one is perfect.
Then you have mechanical error that could happen
Mechanical error is just human error because we built the robot, right?
in a roundabout way.
Yeah.
But if you have a human let's use this example. If you have a human operating a crane, and then out of the human's control, the crane breaks.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the human's fault. It's the machine's fault because it broke. The human couldn't
Okay.
have done anything. But at the same time, if the human is doing something he shouldn't be doing with the machine, it's no longer on the machine. It's the human's fault. What I'm
It's a
saying
give
is,
and take type.
if you have a
deal.
human operating on another human using a robot, there's 2 levels of error that could happen. There's human and then there's mechanical, and one could cause the other.
Do you believe that in the future that robots will eventually replace doctors in hospitals,
Ideally,
and that
you know how much money would be back in the economy? I mean, I don't know. You gotta pay doctors living wages. Where would that money go?
I don't know.
I feel like
I don't have that answer either.
Healthcare would be a lot more accessible because you could just build another doctor. And you don't have to pay him, so it could be free.
Do you think New York subway system will ever be updated?
Hopefully. I think they should. Man, I had this theory on what they should charge for public transit. I think maybe they should charge $1 admission fee for the ferry in the city and make buses free. Or make the subway free. I think that would work. Do you think more people use the ferry than the subway?
No. I don't know, actually.
Okay.
No. I think a decent amount of people use the ferry. I think the ferry should stay free. I think the subway should get fixed. I think the only problem with fixing it is so many people rely on it now since it's been built that you can't just take it away.
Yeah.
You can't even shut it down in one borough.
It's such a necessity for traveling to the city.
You need it. You
Just make
absolutely need
taxis free for a while. Never mind. The taxis are not part of New York City. They are their own company.
it. Yeah, that's why the taxis are nice. Oh, man.
Why do you think Lyft and Uber are putting taxis out of business? Because from what I understand,
They're more personal.
Lyfts and Ubers are more expensive than a taxi.
Yeah,
Correct?
They're more personal, you know? They're more convenient for folks nowadays. To be able to call a taxi is one thing, but to be able to call a Lyft driver, a premium Lyft driver,
And see how far away he is.
and yeah, know when he's gonna arrive, and know what kind of car he's driving, and you can request him to play certain kind of music, and you know that because he's a premium Lyft driver, he's gonna make sure that your experience is great. Now, when you get a taxi, that guy,
It's you're rolling the dice.
yeah, some people are pissed off.
I've never taken a taxi
Whatnot.
before.
It's pretty standard. It feels like a guy that's just trying to do his 9 to 5. Lyft is offering those people, like even celebrities, a chance to feel, I don't know, pampered up when they go.
I guess.
And it doesn't feel like a regular commute.
Like
Feels like
it's an
something more.
experience.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be a Lyft driver.
That's what they're selling, really?
Yeah, second I turn 21.
Oh, go
Need
for
that
it.
extra money in my pocket, man.
Do it. I'll request you.
That's
Nice.
fire.
Why not? You could make a decent amount of money around here if you became a Lyft driver. You'd have to charge decent. Actually,
I don't
they-
control what
they-
I charge.
Yeah, they would control that.
There's just a lot of people that
Would you be going between towns, so to speak?
it depends. I mean, that's what's cool about being a Lyft driver. You don't have to you're not required to take every guy that calls you, you know?
That's true.
Like you get a notification someone requested a lift from blank to blank. It's a 10-minute drive for me and I can make, so let's say $25. I have no idea what the rate is. I'm going to do that. Why not? Covers
I
the
can see
cost of
that.
gas
Do you,
and
do you think
more.
though they have a certain criteria set? Like,
They do.
Like you have to make a certain amount of money to
No.
stay a Lyft driver.
No,
or
no, no,
you
no,
have
no.
to complete a certain amount of Lyft
I don't think
rides
so.
to keep a job.
I don't think I'd have to do more research. All I know is that to become a Lyft driver, you need to have a certain kind of, your car has to meet certain requirements, like safety requirements.
Yeah, it has to be a certain year as well. I know about that stuff, but yeah, I think Lyft is above all, it's modern.
It's with the times.
Yeah.
It's giving people the option for a taxi where taxis don't run.
Mhm. It's really great.
And even at times, do taxis have? I don't know. From what I understand, we're running pretty low on time, correct?
Yeah, we've got about 5 minutes left.
What are we at right now? Like 55?
Yeah.
I think we're at a good point to call it quits.
Yeah. We're actually at 57.
Okay.
So
Thanks everybody for listening. This has been Paul and Anthony with another episode of the Perfect Strangers podcast.
yes, guys. Everybody stay safe out there.
Good night.